All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike, and today we're going to be breaking down PFL Challenger Series Week 6. As I was joined for what, the last 3 weeks, Steve?
I think this is the third one.
Yeah, so this is the third time in a row. Big Steve is joining me. So far, so good. Thanks for coming on, Steve. How are you feeling about this card?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I don't know how I'm feeling. Maybe I have no feelings whatsoever. I'm gender neutral about this card.
Oh, okay, Steve. But we can move on and start the card. Edward Brahyan, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Need help, Evans fight. We'll talk about it soon. Only 4 fights will be there soon, but
that was a very robotic comment.
someone just steamed the dog. Yeah, I mean, I think that's good for anybody on the same side as me, but we'll talk about it real soon. So for the first fight, we've got Brahyan Zurcher versus David Evans. Zurcher is 4-0, undefeated as a pro. Oh, wait, what am I doing? That's the main event. Sorry, guys. I just woke up from a nap, and Steve just woke up. Yeah. We got Vikas, Singh, Ruhil versus James Gonzalez. Vikas is 12-6-0. He's 30 years old, 5'5", and I do not have his reach or gym. Gonzalez is 9-5-0. He's 32 years old, so he's going to be 2 years older. He's 4 inches taller, 69-inch reach, training out of Longo Weidman MMA. What you got for this one, Steve?
Yeah, a bit of a crapshoot. This is a short notice for James Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a beast. You know, he beat Cody Law in his last one. He's only fought 2 potential UFC guys. Never been finished. Really good jiu-jitsu guy. Trained to Sarah Longo, I'm pretty sure. You might have mentioned that already. But yeah, this Indian dude, no hard feelings, but he's pretty trash. He's been finished in every single one of his losses. 6. He's fighting, CFL, Matrix Fight Night. It's just all Indian regional promotions. He's built like a brick shithouse, like an Indian Hulk. But yeah, he's just bad. He wants to take down, and he just gets reversed himself all the time, and he's been armbarred. He's been submitted. Yeah, really low level of competition. Not one person I know. It was sparked with a 1-2 in one of his KO losses as well by a guy that looked 2 weight classes smaller than him in 30 seconds. Yeah, Gonzalez should win this. This is a gigantic step up in the competition. I don't even know how Gonzalez loses this. Wouldn't really play the money line. I was hoping it would be something better. I know someone that hit the -300. I didn't even have the line until I woke up this morning, and it's like $1.18, which is, I don't know what that is. It's something horrible. I was thinking about the under, right? Because he's been finished in every single fight. I was hoping for the under 2.5. I've got 1.5 here. And the under 1.5 is, just $2. It's barely plus money. They're so good at these PFL over-unders. They either kind of tempt you or they make you not want to touch them. But I mean, yeah, like I said, all Vikas finishes round 1. There's one round 3. But yeah, round 1, 20 seconds, 1 minute. 26 seconds into round 2, still under 1.5, 2 minutes into round 1. Some of these are a while back. So yeah, that's the way I'll play it, especially if he goes for a takedown. He's going to jump in Gonzalez's guard. Gonzalez submitted Sabatini from his guard in round 1. He didn't really officially tap, but he dislocated. He broke his elbow with a omoplata. So yeah, under here for me, just relying on the favorite to submit him. He's also got good striking. He was lighting up Cody Law, making Cody Law wrestle in the end, and he almost rear naked choked him. So yeah, I'll play the under here. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but that's the only play I'm interested in.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I just don't like playing under 1.5s. They make me nervous. Like when it's 1.5, I'll either play the over or pass usually, unless it's like Bo Nickel. But yeah, I mean Gonzalez really should win this fight. There's not much to say. He's on short notice. I don't think it really matters. This Vikas guy, he's just not very good, like you said. No hard feelings, but he's fighting on the Indian regional scene. He's not even fighting on like the one that's, I guess, the highest there, where Anshul Jubli was fighting and all those guys. He's not even there. He's at like some random Indian promotions. He's fighting nobodies. He's extremely flat-footed. I don't see really much from him. I guess the striking is not horrible, and if he does win, I think it's probably a knockout, but his wrestling sucks. I don't see him taking down Gonzalez, and Probably Gonzalez inside the distance. We have that at minus 170. What do you think of that one, Steve? I know you don't have it.
Yeah, that's an easy play if I had that.
Yeah. So if I do look at anything, it would probably be that. But for now, I'm going to pass and we can move on to our next fight. I was talking to Steve here. I got some interest. We've got Huskić versus Gabriel Alves Braga. Huskić is 8-5-0. He's 28 years old, 5'7", and I think he's training out of Gracie, Tampa South. For Braga, he's 8-0 undefeated. He's going to be 4 years younger, 3 inches taller. And for him, I've got him out of Topa Thai. I'll start this one off. I mean, he's a weird guy. He's had, I think, 3 fights in a row that he's lost. But honestly, I don't blame him too much for these losses. Brendan Loughnane on short notice, and he did pretty good. I was watching that fight. The live odds in round 3, he was like a plus 250, whereas I think at open he was like what plus 500, plus 450. He looked decent there in the Ignacio Capella fight. He also looked decent. Capella's not the worst guy. Brant Moore, I think pretty highly of, and I'm not going to say that loss is terrible either. But that said, he hasn't beaten anyone good. He's losing when he steps up, and when he's fighting guys who aren't so good, he's winning. His striking, I like the output. I like it for the most part, but he misses a lot. He's kind of like hitting air half the time, and he can get pretty sloppy. He's pretty hittable, kind of leans back like this. I don't rate Braga all that high. I don't love his striking. I don't really like the way he stands it with his guard. He kind of has his chin up. Don't really love him, but his wrestling's good. The grappling is good. He's very strong on top. He's got his own good takedown defense. I don't really see Huskić getting his wrestling going here. More than likely, I think Braga just out-grapples him, but I think the line doesn't really make much sense. Minus 550 Braga, plus 400 Huskić. If we're on the feet, I think it's going to be pretty close, and I wouldn't be shocked if Huskić pulled it off with the decision. So I'll be looking at that plus 400. Maybe it'll close even bigger, so we'll see what happens. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, another juice line. I'm not really a fan of Huskic's style. Just fights with his hands low and that karate style with like slapping kicks. Boxing looked a bit better against Brendan Loughnane, I guess, but I think that was just Brendan starting the season very average, and then he just turned it on at the most important part. When the finale came, he had a close one with Kondo as well, where he got dropped, and I can't get behind Huskić. Just really negative takedown defense. Gets taken down by everyone. Not athletic at all. Yeah, like I said, those kicks, the punching technique is just horrible. If you watch that, his boxing looked kind of better against in his last one, like I said. But when they were showing the replays, they're all like straight arm over the top, and he was kept hitting him like with his thumb. It was just horrible to watch. Like if anything, he might just win a decision here. We're just constantly kicking and moving. I mean, he's 28. He might be improving. But I get why Braga's the favorite. 8-0, and he's got a really sharp Muay Thai striking. High guard, good leg kicks, rips the body. He does get busted up because, like a typical Muay Thai fighter, not much head movement. I don't think there's much danger against Argo of all people. And then in the last 2 fights, I've seen him wrestle as well. So it's just like, he can even take down this guy if he wants to. If I was going to play anything, it'll be the over 2.5. Similar price to the Yanez last week, the women's fight, where I was a bit scared because of whatever the chick's name was, her defense, the horrendous defense, getting dropped like 3-4 times. Braga hits hard, and this guy Huskić, with hands low and no defense. But even in that Capella fight, when the fight ended, his face was just bloodied up, absolutely bloodied up. But he seems durable. His only finish is Aaron McKenzie is a pretty good jiu-jitsu guy, and that was on the ground. That was more his bad takedown defense where he got mounted and finished. Just another fight. I can't. I don't really like the dog. I think he's pretty average, and the favorite line is horrendous, and I'll just play the over 2.5 but I don't know. I haven't pulled the trigger.
Yeah, honestly, the over 2.5 makes sense, but at minus 170, I don't know either. Like, it opened at, what was it? Minus 160. No difference.
Look, if you favor the dog, then it should be a no-brainer.
What'd you say?
If you favor the dog, It was kind of like I was gonna fade Desiree Yanez, and then I was like, if she loses, the other chick has no finishing upside. It's probably gonna be over 2.5. So I just hit that in case Yanez wanted, So this is like, you don't have to put your money on Huskić. He's probably going to let you down. But at least, like, if you play the over 2.5, you're kind of like relying on him to survive anyway. That's just my opinion anyway.
Yeah, might be a look worth. Definitely going to take a look at that. But we can move on for now to our co-main event. We've got Nate Kelly versus Zachary Hicks. And Kelly, another huge favorite, 6'2" 25 years old, 5'8" with a 65-inch reach, training out of SBG Ireland. Hicks, 8'4" He's going to be, 7 years older. Same height, don't have his reach. He's training out of Nashville MMA. Starts off, Steve.
Yeah. Yep. This is I think Nate Kelly's probably the best guy on this card. I remember I was potentially looking to fade him. He seems like a Cage Warriors guy, doesn't he? Like when you look at his tape, you're like, oh, this guy should be in Cage Warriors. But
I thought he was when I first looked at him.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just when you do a lot of tape, it's just like, it was surprising to see him in Bellator. And then PFL felt weird. He definitely feels like he should be on the Bellator European cards, like the Irish cards, or like in Cage Warriors. But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, just a very explosive wrestler, very fast hands. He ran through Ben Ellis, who I'm pretty sure Ben Ellis is from Cage Warriors. Let me see. Come on, have to be right about this one.
I think that's why we thought that.
Yeah, it's that one PFL card. They just had a bunch of Cage Warriors guys fighting each other. Yeah, just explosive dude. He lost a couple of fights at the start of his career, and that's when I was kind of looking to fade him. I think I wanted to fade him against Scott Pedersen, who that guy, just a decent dude that just keeps getting messed up with solid fighters and keeps losing. And he kind of outgrinded Pedersen there. And then on the other side, old mate Zachary Hicks, he's just a grinder, man. He just wants to grind, and he's good at getting to the back. And yeah, that's about it. That's all he does. He seems to be athletic, seems to be strong, like a little nugget of a man. Against Reginald Adams, which is not on tape index again, right? Another drop of the ball by them, just clearly on Fight Pass, not hard to find. That fight just kind of got outstruck, so he's really one-dimensional. I don't like how one-dimensional he is. If you can't get the wrestling and the back take off, just falls apart against not the best fighters. And we know that Nate Kelly at least has those very fast hands if he wants to let him go. I actually contemplated the dog here, just because if it's going to be a wrestle grindy fight, I haven't really seen Zachary lose convincingly. With that game plan, like he can hold his own. And Nate Kelly in that Scott Pedersen fight, I actually watched it in Bellator and kind of struggled to get takedowns later on in the fight. Maybe this can be competitive. Maybe he gets his own back taken. But yeah, ultimately, just because he's so one-dimensional, I ended up passing on the dog. And as for the over-under, I thought about that. And, it's another 1.5, which personally, if I was going to play anything, it would play the 1.5. I don't think the 2.5. I think all the finishing upsides early when Nate Kelly unloads with his boxing. Sometimes he comes really aggressive. So I might contemplate that. It's just, Hicks has 2 finishes, but they're all in round 3, and I can't find those fights. NFC. Maybe someone can ask Dan Levy to send us that fight. Or I just can't find him, and it seems like there might be an attritional damage, KO losses. I would love to see if he's maybe chinny or something, but yeah, there's nothing on tape. So unfortunately, just another pass for me all around.
Yeah, so obviously you can't play this money line. I just wouldn't. Minus 550. But I'm on the same side. I think Kelly's just going to beat him up. I actually my first instinct when I taped this the first time was also maybe I'm going to fade Kelly here with Hicks, because Hicks kind of does everything Kelly does, just not as good. Like the grappling, that's what he goes to, but it's just not on the level of Nate Kelly. And I did fade Nate Kelly with Ben Ellis, and that didn't turn out very good for me. Ellis was actually the favorite there. Kelly was the underdog, I believe. And he looked great. He looked great on the feet. I mean, he kind of just goes in not the safest way. I think a good counter striker could probably hurt him a bit. But he looked very powerful. He looked very fast. And he did hurt him on the feet. And his grappling, I really like. He's very solid on the ground, knows what he's doing. I'm kind of looking at the sub prop. It's plus 400. Thinking about it, the inside the distance for Kelly is minus 170. Maybe I'll play it that way. I know you don't get those, Steve, but hopefully you will eventually. That I might look at. I see it opened at minus 135. That would have been a play for me for sure. Now at chalk, I got to think about it, but we'll see. But I do think Kelly wins this fight, probably early. And we can move on to the only fight I have a bet on. We got Brahyan Zurcher versus David Evans. Zurcher's 4-0, undefeated as a pro, 26 years old, 5'10" with the 70-inch reach, and believe he's out of Extreme Couture. For Evans, he's 5-1-0, 29 years old, don't have his height, don't have his reach, and he's training out of, I've got Chicago Fight Team. Looks like he spent some time with Bilal. And I'll start us off here. I like Evans quite a bit, honestly. I went into this fight. It looked like Zurcher, based off of the Tapology votes before the odds were out, was going to be the heavy favorite. What did he open at? I think he did open pretty. He opened minus 155, and then the line's been all over the place. I took Evans at, what was it? Minus 125, I think. Minus 120. I put 2.4 units on it. I just kind of think that Evans does everything Zurcher does, but better. I don't love Zurcher. I was telling Steve this before we hopped on the show. I don't like his striking one bit. I think he's pretty hittable. And I think that Evans is a much better striker. And on the feet, I'm fairly comfortable saying that I think Zurcher's going to get outstruck. And I think it's going to come down to the grappling. And I think that Evans is just as good of a wrestler as Zurcher is. It seems like Zurcher's thing is grappling, but then you look at it and like, it's not having the most success against Tyler Hinton. You know, he got taken down in round 1, gave up his back, and Hinton was literally making his debut. He's 0-2-0 now. He got reversed against Hinton as well and held down for a bit. Like, that's not a good look for a guy who's supposed to be a really good grappler. So because of that, I don't really see where he's going to be like beating Evans. I really don't. So I like Evans. I did play him, and I do think he might get a finish, but I'm not going to get fancy with it. And now that he's back to minus 135, I think you can play it straight if you like it. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, this is the one that I actually contemplated playing myself as well. Not on Evans though, just because he's minus 200 now for me. You know, it's a low level fight in the grand scheme of things. He's still, you know, inexperienced. Neither of these guys have fought anyone good. I know Zurcher well last year when, you know, PFL was doing a lot of cards. Not Challenger. Oh, actually, it was Challenger Series, wasn't it? Scotty's. That's right. My one negative promotion last year, but we're in profit this year. Let's go. Yeah, I remember taping him, and I was taping him for this Scotty Stockman guy who, you know, very explosive, athletic wrestler. You know, he was just throwing people around and dominating him. He's 6-2 now, and I ended up passing because I was like, the athleticism advantage is just too much for Stockman here. And Zurcher proceeded to, you know, just out-grapple him, thoroughly out-grapple him. I understand, you know, why he looks bad on tape. I thought the same thing, and he surprised me there. He's more of a jiu-jitsu guy, right? You know, he can be taken down. Almost everyone takes him down. You know, even this Ricardo Jimenez dude in the playoffs, which I think was a short notice. He was a 1-on-1 guy.
And he's a Taekwondo guy too.
Yeah, there's no way they matched him up with a 1-on-1 guy unless it was short notice, unless PFL just on some crack. It's possible. But yeah, even he was taking him down, but yeah, eventually he will get everyone's back. He just likes to be on his back. He likes a half guard sweep. He's got a good leg kick. He seems to be very durable. I think he's Mexican. Yeah, he, like I said, can be taken down. I understand why he's the underdog. It's another athletic wrestler that seems to be better than him at wrestling on tape. And you know, he looked quite good against Gary Conkle, who is horrible. I know I taped him for the last LFA. Same thing, you know, happened to him with this Aussie guy. Conkle just out wrestling, but he outstruck Conkle there too. You know, he was flowing. He felt good. He busted him up. But I just have questions about him. You know, he's made his bones on Shamrock FC, which is one of the most horrible promotions. You know, 0-2 guy, 0-3 guy, 3-11 dude. That 3-11 guy rocked him in round 1, and then he ended up wrestling him and finished him. That piqued my interest, and then I went back. And then right after that fight, Gage Young knocked him out in 1 minute 46 seconds. And he knocked him out cold. Right, this is a featherweight. Getting knocked out cold It's just it's a bit of a red sign at 65 kilos, right? And then I went back and found his amateur fight against Cortavius Romeus. Jesus, that's like a Roman emperor name. And he knocked him out in 24 seconds. And I watched that fight. It was like a jamming wheel kick. Like it didn't land properly, landed like more with the ankle, and he was out cold, stiffened up, fencing response. Right, looking at the stars, and I'm like, yeah, this guy's chinny. I can't play this guy at
That was
minus 200.
2015, though.
Yeah,
Looking at it now.
His chin's better now. His chin's obviously not better because in 2022 he got knocked out in 1 minute 46 seconds, and he got hurt by a 3-11 guy. It's just like I'm just going back to see if his chin is sus. You know what I mean? Like seeing if there's any credence, if that was like a cut stoppage or something, or if he's actually. And he got knocked out cold, which is all I needed to see. So he's getting knocked out multiple times, and whenever he's not fighting someone from Shamrock Series, Konkol is his best win. I do, think that Zurcher probably doesn't hit that hard, which is a problem with the chins. But he's 26. I think he's improving. Yeah, I get it. Evans seems to be good. 29 in his prime, athletic. Everything that Zurcher always, struggles with. That's why he's always the dog. He was a big dog against Scotty Stockman. And by the way, that Tyler Hilton guy that you said was throwing him around, where he triangled him, that guy was a purple belt, and he had like a collegiate wrestling background as well. So he's fought a lot of wrestlers, man. He's fought a lot of wrestlers. I don't know. That seems to be his thing, lose until he gets a triangle or gets a back take. So I just feel, I would rather take the dog here. He might get taken down, but he's going to scramble. He's going to maybe take his back at some point. So yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger. I thought maybe more people were gonna hammer Evans, put him in parlays, but I just think at this point, I see people saying the line is tightening up, so I might have to just like lock something in, and just get Evans to kind of prove it to me that he's the real deal against.
What do you have Zurcher as?
$2.65, which is plus 165.
Okay, I see it.
Has that moved or?
Not on Bet365, but on Bet Online it has moved. Yeah, he is now plus 105 for Zurcher.
Oh, geez, it's like pick'em, isn't it?
Almost. Minus 135 on Evans. It's close.
Let me just get my Bet365 phone. I'll lock it in.
You got it. All right, so me and Steve finally on opposite sides. I don't know if that's even happened yet.
Oh, we were kind of disagreeing on the Espinoza versus whatever the guy was, the Bosnian dude.
Oh yeah.
But after tape and after seeing the weigh-ins, I actually really wanted to hit Espinoza. He was a dog at one point, and I was so salty that I was like nervous. I was like, "Oh, what's going to be more important, the boxing or the wrestling?" And then I knew deep down that if Espinoza doesn't get knocked out, he rolls with it. He just runs away with the fight. And we kind of disagreed there because you had like 3 units on Espinoza, although your line was a bit more juicy. But yeah, when he went to dog, I was like, oh, look at this weighing difference, man. One guy looks like a kid. The other guy looks like the best wrestler in the world. But other than that, we just agreed on everything.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to like agree on this one because my line is completely different. It's minus 200. You got the better line. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, if it was still minus 200, I wouldn't say that's worthy betting. But now that's minus 135 here, I think that's playable still. Remember when Espinoza ended up watching the show that we spoke about him on?
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. A lot of those fighters, when they watch, they get offended and cut. I'm glad he didn't abuse me or something.
Nah, he was nice about it.
Yeah, I wish I was confident on him. Get some clout from a professional fighter. when someone picks him, they love it. They go on the shows and stuff.
I tried to get him on the show after, but that's the comment he stopped replying to.
Yeah, well, you got your answer. It seems like it.
Yep, got rejected, bro.
What do you think about this? What do you think about the over/under in the main?
What is it? 2.5.
Yeah, minus 200. I just kind of don't want to hit it with with Zurcher's back takes and with the chinny.
What's minus 200 for you? The over?
The over 2.5.
Oh, okay. It's minus 165 for us over here.
Ooh, nice.
You would look at the over, not the under?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to hit the over at that juice just because of
Okay, okay.
the back takes and the chin and
Yeah,
blah
if
blah blah.
anything, I would look at the under, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Evans he busted up Conkle too. He's just I don't think he's finishing Zurcher personally.
Yeah. Zurcher, he's never even been finished. He's been finished once as an amateur in 2015. That's it.
Someone said he went 3-2 in his amateur record.
3-3.
Yeah, which I mean, whatever, big whoop.
That's amateur. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, Evans. If you look at Evans' record, it's like
12-5 and 12-6-0.
Yeah, or is it
I like
12-5?
seeing it when they fight a lot though as amateurs before making a debut. I do like that.
Yeah, I mean, all I see on his is a lot of knockout losses, which is a red flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zurcher, I mean, back then, he's 26. So back then, he was like 22, 23, 20, 21. The main thing in amateurs is that you fight, man. And then when you go to pro, you are your skill level is like ready to take a transition, and you've left the losses behind in your amateur career. So you can build a nice record that Dana White's going to take to Contender Series and rip you off.
I don't know if he would ever take either of these guys on the Contender Series. Maybe Zurcher with more wins.
If Zurcher wins this, then you probably get signed by PFL. You know,
Yeah.
when they come back 3 times,
Oh yeah, this would literally be the third.
like Espinoza. All right, I got a shout out. Addicted to Combat. How are you, mate?
Hell yeah. My guy, Pat, we went live yesterday for the panel with Wheezy and Bane. If you guys haven't seen that one, run that back. That was a lot of fun. I think it was like almost 2.5 hours long, but it was a good time. So make sure to run that back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more to say about this card. Only 4 fights. I haven't looked at the one for next week yet. Any idea if it's any better, Steve?
Let's look at it now, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pulling it up too.
Okay, what's one of the fighters that's fighting? Oh, it's Impa, isn't it?
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Impa, yeah.
Is that the last one?
Yeah, Impa versus Osama El Sedi. Never heard of
Ooh,
this man.
Osama's gonna bomb him.
You think so?
That's a joke.
Oh. Okay, I picked it up now. But yeah, this guy doesn't
Oh,
look
this is
like
good.
he's
This is
fought
good,
anyone
man.
good.
Taylor Johnson, Trey Williams. Trey Williams, my best bet of last year at $3.30 on Cage Warriors, closed as a $1.20 favorite.
Who
Trey
did?
Williams. Trey Williams.
Oh, Trey Williams. Taylor Johnson's pretty good. I think he's already fought in PFL also. Yeah,
Yeah,
he won.
he lost to Muniz on Contender, and he's been fighting on Bellator. He lost to Eblin by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been all around the block. PFL. Oh yeah, he beat Alexander Popek. Yeah,
Fabio Aguiar, that was close.
that's probably gonna be juice though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
This Trey is kind of like an old dude.
How old is he? 31.
He's not old. He's
Not that
31,
old.
but he's like a Cage Warriors journeyman. Yeah,
Oh, he lost to Chuck
Campbell.
Campbell. That's not the
Yeah,
best look.
yeah, that was a robbery though. I think
Was
that's why
it?
he was such a big dog against the 40-something-year-old.
Do you know either of these guys, Nick Coring or Joey Angelo?
I've heard of Nick Coring. Let me just refresh my.
He looks
Tapology.
ripped on Tapology.
Moses Marietta. He got a knockout. No, this guy seems all right. No, I swear I've heard this guy's name. I'm just trying to look if I've taped him before. He was an Ultimate Fighter against Luke Barnett in season 617. That's probably why.
2012. So this
Back
guy's
when
old in fight years, but he's only 32.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the last time I watched Ultimate Fighter, to be honest.
This next season's gonna be a good one, though.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm hyped.
I actually
Just
like
looking,
that they have some of the old names on there as well. Like at least it's name value, like the 35-year-olds and stuff. Even though I think most of them have been cut for Conor McGregor's mates, apparently.
I think that was like the point of the show. They were bringing in like some new guys and some guys who are like ex-UFC dudes.
It's all about hype, I'm pretty sure. So they're like, oh, we don't want to bring too many unknown people. Let's bring some people that used to be in the UFC, so people tuning for them and stuff like that.
I think Impo's going to kill this guy.
Yeah, this should be a good card. It's just the only problem is it going to be too juiced again? You know, if we all think Impa's going to kill him, which he probably will, then it's going to be another $1.20 favorite, and then Taylor Johnson's going to be a massive favorite, which maybe we can fade that. Trey can do survive. Taylor just gasses. He gasses if he doesn't get around one
Yeah.
finish. He got out grappled by Fabio Aguilar. I'm sure you know him.
He's not bad though. Aguilar's not bad.
He's just a grinder, man. Just a grinder. Just pushes you up against the cage for 15 minutes straight, and he wins a decision like that.
Hype to break this one down. But all right, that's a card, guys. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks to all the people watching live. We're in the double digits. That's always fun. Thank you guys all. Thanks to Steve for coming on. Always a good time, brother. Why don't you just plug your stuff and let's head out of here.
All right, I'll plug it. I'll just answer mountain bets. I am looking into Cage Warriors, mate. It's just I want to have a podcast for that, so just jump on my Twitter. Yeah, I'll be doing my big brain, running a bit late this week. I'll do it in about half an hour with, actually no, an hour and a half with Lucrative MMA. So I'm bringing him on. It should be beautiful. We are two full-time professional gamblers talking. I'm excited about that one. We haven't really talked, so we'll talk about our picks for the first time. Other than that, yeah, subscribe, Big Brain MMA Podcast. I do podcasts every single week. I jump on our Couch Warriors pod when I can for PFL. Saves me the effort. Yeah, subscribe to him too. I've gotten a lot of Twitter followers, but it hasn't translated to YouTube subscribers. If you're following me on Twitter and you listen to my podcast, come on, mate. Makes sense to subscribe. So, yeah, other than that, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, Mike, before you go, if you have time, there's a guy at Cage Warriors. He's legit. I'll check it out. I haven't done any Cage Warriors. I did do Octagon just because I noticed two ex-UFC heads, Andreas Michailidis and Amiran Gogoladze. And both guys are dogs, so I actually took a half-unit shot in both people. Michailidis is literally fighting, what's his face? Leandro Silva, I think is his name. 40-year-old journeyman. For some reason, people are really loving him there. I'm down to fade him as the favorite. And Gogoladze, he's a bit riskier in my opinion. He's not the brightest cookie in the cage. I mean, and he also got his shoulder came out against Darius Flowers, but I think he could beat this guy, Luis Glizman. So I did take him as the dog as well.
I know someone that's played Gogoladze, and I'm excited about taping that one, Avis, because I know that James Lynch is quite bad. I don't know if he's going to cover that line, so I'll look into that first. Thanks, man.
It's always so funny hearing James Lynch because he's literally the other James Lynch does interviews. That's what I always think about.
Oh, they're both bad.
Get out of here, bro. But all right, guys. Peace out. Thank you all again, and good luck this weekend.